2 p.m.
Learn all you need from professionals on how the country runs its business affairs and how you can be an outstanding entrepreneur and grow your business.
Business Today.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here is the business news on Today 95.1 FM. I am Dawn Wilson. The Nigerian equities market has closed on a bearish note as widespread profit-taking and sell-offs in medium and large capitalized stocks dragged down the overall performance of the bourse. Consequently, the all-share index dipped by 874.0 points, representing a loss of 0.35% to close at 246,686.66 points. While the total market capitalization depreciated by 479 billion naira to settle at 150.219 trillion naira. This negative performance was heavily impacted by losses recorded in prominent equities including PZ Cousins, Nigeria Limited, Nigerian Exchange Group, FBN Holdings, Wema Bank, and Zenith Bank PLC. However, the market breadth remained decisively weak throughout the trading session, reflecting a dominant bearish sentiment with 37 decliners outperforming just 14 gainers. The International Monetary Fund has warned governments against resorting to broad subsidies, price controls, and tax cuts in response to rising energy and food prices, arguing that poorly designed interventions can worsen inflation, strain public finances, and deepen global shortages. In a May report, the IMF said policymakers confronting surging prices face a difficult balancing act between protecting households and businesses and preserving already limited fiscal resources. The report comes as countries grapple with renewed volatility in global energy markets and concerns that geopolitical tensions could fuel higher inflation and weaken economic growth. According to the IMF, there is no universal response to energy and food price shocks because countries differ significantly in their dependence on imported energy, market structures, social protection systems, and fiscal capacity. However, it said governments should follow a common set of principles, including allowing domestic energy prices to reflect international costs, protecting vulnerable households through targeted support measures, and avoiding broad-based subsidies except in exceptional circumstances. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has said that economic reforms introduced by the administration of President Bola Tinubu has significantly increased operating costs for manufacturers, pushing expenditure on alternative energy to 1.34 trillion naira in 2025 and worsening industrial performance. The association acknowledged that the reforms have laid the foundation for long-term economic restructuring and urged the federal government to shift its focus towards industrial recovery and growth. In a document assessing, MAN said manufacturers had borne a disproportionate share of the adjustment burden arising from the implementation of key policies including fuel subsidy removal, exchange rate liberalization, electricity tariff adjustments, and tight monetary policy. However, the Director General of MAN, Segun Ajayi Kader, explained that the reforms significantly altered the operating environment for manufacturers and triggered unprecedented increases in production costs. According to the association, the removal of fuel subsidy in May 2023 caused logistics and distribution costs to rise by more than 300% within weeks, while the increase in electricity tariffs for Band A consumers further compounded production challenges. The African Development Bank has said banks in Nigeria lend the equivalent of just 9.4% of the country's gross domestic product to the private sector, reflecting the limited role of the financial system in supporting business growth and economic development. The bank disclosed this in its African Economic Outlook 2026 report, which noted that Nigeria ranked among the weakest performers among major African economies in private sector credit provision. According to the report, major African economies such as Kenya, 31.6%, Egypt, 28.3%, Cote d'Ivoire, 21.4%, and Nigeria, 9.4%, remain well below comparable emerging lower middle income market economies such as Vietnam, 121.6%, Malaysia, 121.5%, and Chile, 111.8%. The AFDB stated that Africa's domestic credit to the private sector averaged 34.6% of GDP between 2020 and 2024, the lowest level among global regions and a decline from the previous decade. It noted that most bank lending across the continent remained concentrated in short-term and low-risk assets rather than long-term investments capable of generating stronger development outcomes. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. Trade Representative has proposed new duties targeting 60 economies for alleged failures to act against forced labor as the Trump administration seeks to rebuild its tariff agenda following legal setbacks. According to a government filing, the proposed tariffs range from 10% to 12.5% and launched investigations into trading partners including China, the European Union, and Japan. The probes looked into whether they took action against the import of goods made with forced labor and if this impacted U.S. commerce. And that was the business news on Today 95.1 FM. I am Dawn Wilson. Thank you for listening and good afternoon.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Maybe home is somebody's smile when they look at you for the first time. Maybe home is being a home to something you love and adore with all your heart. And that is what life, friendship, and love are all about. Maybe home is listening to all of your favorite shows on Today 95.1 FM. We create memories. We inspire comfort. We are the voice of the people, and we are home away from home.
Looking to grow your business?
Ready to elevate your brand and reach the right audience? This is your moment to take your brand to the next level with Today 95.1 FM.
Your trusted voice, reaching thousands of listeners every single day.
From startups to established brands, we create powerful advertising solutions that boost your visibility and drive real growth.
Our affordable advertising packages are designed to give your business maximum visibility and real results.
Don't just advertise where people are listening.
Call us today on 0818-389-2850 or visit our station to book your slot now at Today FM Drive off East West Road, Obiapo.
Today FM 95.1.
Your voice, your market, your success.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore.
As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
I'm not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt.
Weekdays, 4 p.m.
Get on the platform on radio and be served.
Today 95.1 FM. where news meets insight, sports meets passion, and entertainment meets excellence. Expert analysis from seasoned professionals and our top analysts, informing, educating, and entertaining you. Your voice, your station. We are the voice of the people.
Today is business. Today is a new trend for your businesses. We give you all the information you need to grow your business, new ideas and innovations that keep you earning more and staying relevant.
Every day, we engage in business, buying and selling, trading, and exchanging of services as individuals or as a country. Money goes round, it goes up and down. But have you ever wondered what business is all about? And have you ever wondered how you can stand out in your business?
Today FM has got you covered every Wednesday between the hours of 1 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Learn all you need from professionals on how the country runs its business affairs and how you can be an outstanding entrepreneur and grow your business.
Business Today.
All right, just as the promo has said, it's time for business today. Time check, it's 11 minutes past 1. Of course, my name is Dawn. This is your premium talk station, Today95.1 FM. And hopefully today's edition would be as scintillating as the last. Yes, indeed. All right, we are awaiting the presence of Dr. Lyra Kpagi, who is I like to call him a senior lecturer with the university. Well, okay, I've been wondering about this. I don't know. I'm kind of I kind of like nostalgic things, but anyway, okay, let's go with River State University. We used to call it UST, but okay, River State University, and he is he is an expert in energy matters and economics, and he's almost here. I just got him on the phone and he said he's quite close. So I'll build a foundation, and when he comes in, he will get down to the business of breaking my heart when it comes to economy, of course, or the economy, and opening our eyes to, well, what's out there business-wise. So I'll start off this way. I have 3 headlines for us to focus on. So I'll start with the first one, then we'll work our way to the second and the third. All of them, of course, are connected. Now, the first headline is Daniel Bwala. He's in the news. Apparently, he was on, I think, Arise, and he had this to say. Population infrastructure deficits are why Nigerians are not feeling Tinubu's economic reforms. So I was like, okay, I guess someone learned, someone with economic expertise has come out in the person of Daniel Bwala to tell us, oh, this is why you guys haven't felt it in your pocket yet. You're feeling the hunger in the pit of your stomach, but your pocket is yet to feel, well, full. So let's get to Daniel's breakdown. So Daniel Bwala says Nigeria's large population and infrastructure deficit explain why citizens are yet to feel economic reforms benefits. A special advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on media and policy communication. Oh, I thought it was a special advisor on economic matters. But anyway, I digress. So yes, Daniel Bwala, the special advisor, media and policy communication, has attributed the slow impact of President Bola Tinubu's economic reforms on ordinary Nigerians to the country's large population and significant infrastructure national demands. So to quote him, the answer is simply population and resources. The population is over 230 million. The resources we have, however, even with the increased revenue, are not enough to match the population and the deficit in terms of infrastructure. So growth will inevitably be slow, but it will be slow, steady, and consistent. So we will be consistently feeling it. Well, that's just me talking anyway. So anyway, he's saying because we are plenty in the country, I'm just breaking it down for all of us to understand, because we are plenty in the country and the resources, maybe the schools they've built, the hospitals they've built, the road network and the Gbogbo Tigbo is not enough because we are more than the roads, we are more than the schools. Well, that's just my own layman. Like I said, Dr. Lirakbagi will be on hand to explain if what I'm analyzing is correct. Now, for more context, you can go and read the whole thing. It's online, but let's stop there. Because basically, this simply means that, ladies and gentlemen, you and I are on our own when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to revenue generation, basically when it comes to taking care of ourselves. Already, we take care of security, we take care of water, some of us even do roads leading to our gates, and so we take care of so many things. So I guess it's time for us to take care of our own IGR. It's time for us to start financing ourselves because the resource is no plenty and we are more than the resources. So let's do it ourselves. Then I came across this particular headline in Business Day. And the headline says, let me see if I can find that headline. 8 stocks Nigerian investors made over 200% return in 5 months. That's a Business Day saying that. So what I'll do is I'll give you a bit of breakdown, as in how people were able to make over 200% return. Just hold on. You know, I usually keep my notes somewhere so that I don't misinform you guys. Just hold on. Let me find that. Okay. Hold on. I'm looking for that. Okay. All right, I think I found it. So, okay, no, this is the third headline. I'm looking for the second headline, which is on stocks. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me see. Find it. This is on the US. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get the stocks so we get to how we can make money. Okay. All right, I think I found it. Yes. So, some breakdowns. Now, the key takeaway from what Business Day is saying is not just that some investors made over 200% return in 5 months. It's that the Nigerian stock market has been on an unusually powerful run in 2026. So according to Business Day, total market capitalization gained more than 60 trillion naira in the first 5 months of the year and crossed 160 trillion naira. So apparently it looks like there is some kind of boom. And it looks like there is money to be made in stocks, there's money to be made in bonds, and all of that. So I had this, I hope it's a brilliant idea when Dr. Kwagi comes on. I hope it's a brilliant idea. I had this idea that, okay, since infrastructure, no plenty, and we are more than the infrastructure, maybe we should start looking into stocks and bonds to make money, to take care of ourselves, so that the one the government cannot do, well, we fund for ourselves. So, Dr. Kwagi is on hand. Dr. Kwagi, am I onto something here that maybe, just maybe, we can use stocks and bonds and start making our own IGR?
So, you said something that we are on an unusual run.
Okay, yes.
So, it's not something that you can make your normal living on unless you have access to bulk money.
So are you saying the ordinary Nigerian cannot buy stocks and bonds?
In fact, one of the reasons why we are on this unusual run is because the ordinary Nigerian with certain fintech companies can just go online, download the app and buy, as against what our parents used to do.
Okay.
Go to DHL, then you have to get your share certificate,
and get papers.
Papers,
I remember
your
that.
File. So that is now digitalized.
Yes.
So the digitalization has allowed for an increase in purchase or patronage of the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
People are doing this all the way from different countries in diaspora and the rest.
Okay.
2, we had 2 major, or we are going to have 2. Well, we've had 1. There's another major activity that is going to shake up the stock market this year. So the first was the recapitalization in the banking sector.
Okay.
Many banks.
That was for commercial banks.
Commercial banks, exactly.
I hear they're going to go after microfinance banks very soon.
So those that are on the stock market are going to benefit as well.
I see.
Because the recapitalization means the bank has to show capacity finance-wise. And to do that, they need a lot of patronage. Some of them may not be able to stand, so they will go and team up with stronger banks and
merge.
Okay. And so we're going to see their share prices rise. Then the second thing is the Dangote IPO that's also coming up. Everybody's expecting, and he's also said he's paying in dollars. And so that's also going to shake up the market. It's almost $2 point something billion investment shares that he wants to sell. So it's going to be huge. And those are the things that are causing the Nigerian stock market now to boom the way they are booming.
Okay.
Many companies are also seeing more. How do I put it now? Interest rates are kind of high, are very high actually in Nigeria, comparatively speaking.
Okay.
So cheaper forms of funding are more important to business people, and the raising of money from the open public offer through public offer is cheaper than paying this bank monthly thing.
Okay.
You take this money, you do your business. At the end of the trading year, you pay dividends. So you can walk around the money and you pay based on what? You pay a dividend based on the profit you declare.
Okay.
The bank doesn't want to know if you take a loan, the bank doesn't want to know if you're declaring profit or loss. They just want their monthly income to be coming into their accounts. So it's much more convenient for businesses, especially very big businesses, to be on the stock market. So those are things that are causing the kind of boom that we are seeing.
All right, so
for the long term,
yeah,
Nigerians should get involved. Don't think it's
in
a
buying
short
stocks
term.
and bonds.
Yeah, it's not a short-term thing, but it's something that you buy at your pace, you grow at your pace, and then you eventually see the return.
Okay, so let's say, because I know you don't have to be a rich person to buy stocks.
Yeah.
I don't know about bonds, because I think bonds, you have government bonds, you have, I think they call them treasury bills, and people are making serious money from these things, because it's like you're loaning to the government and the government is giving you.
Yeah.
So let's say a young man who makes, let's just say, let's be a bit realistic, let's say 500,000, and he can afford to play around with 50,000. So let's say he buys into maybe the Dangote refinery or any of or other good company or banks. I hear banks are viable as well.
Yeah, they have their seasons.
So let's say he's buying 50,000. Just give us rough mathematics at the end of at the end of the year. Let's say the bank or the business does very well. How much do you think would be his dividend or his take home?
His take home? No, I can't say. See the way it works. So let me use historical perspective.
All right.
I'm very sure in 2022 there was a bank. Am I allowed to call names?
No.
There was a bank that was selling their shares for 25 naira.
Okay.
And today they're selling those same shares for 140 naira.
Okay.
Which is about 4 years later. So if you put in 1 million at that time, what was worth 1 million today would have been worth over 4 million naira.
Okay. So stocks are like land.
But it's highly liquid compared to land.
Okay.
So to get land, to sell your land now, you have agents, you have somebody that agrees or disagrees. You can't use your land as a collateral to collect money unless you have CFO on the land.
All right.
But with shares, you can take your shares to the bank and use it to collect money.
And they'll give you immediately.
They'll give it to you immediately.
All
as
right.
far as they see that it's actually yours. With shares, you can liquidate almost instantly. I mean, most liquidations, especially when it's not so bulky, can take a week, 10 days. You've
so
sold
if you
off
need fast cash,
and you get your money.
But can you sell it yourself, or do you need like a hedge fund manager or something?
You can, depending on how high you are playing. But these days, with what's going on online, you can sit down, get apps from your different companies that you are patronizing, and you can do your business by yourself without even talking to nobody.
Wow.
So it's still a long-term thing. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Dividends are paid once a year. It's not.
All right.
But if you get companies to pay you dividends across multiple months in a year, you could use it to plan. But that depends on how much you are putting into the business. Business. Because dividend is paid per share, and it depends on the number of shares you have. So it's a good space for every Nigerian to get into, but it's long term. I don't want them to get it twisted. Yes, some stocks made 200% in 3 months. It happens. There's a company I was following last year. Last year they did 600%.
Wow.
In January alone, that company did 400% in January.
Okay.
I carried my head and put inside that company. I can't see anything. I've not seen nothing. So I tried to study the trends. I saw that the trajectory coming from historical data was good. I also tried to project futuristically speaking. I saw that they were calling in, they were not even selling shares.
Okay.
They got funding, they cleared, which allowed them to clear their debt. They got new private sector investors. About 6 billion naira was coming into the company. And I saw they were also expanding into mining and other sectors.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this is where I need to be. But I can tell you from then till now, I'm on the negative on that stock.
Okay.
On that particular stock in my portfolio. I hope it changes maybe before the end of the year. But that's why I say it's a long-term thing. Yeah. So it's not something the Nigerians should say, hey, it has been said on radio, rush into the stock market.
Okay.
No, just use it to plan. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what number one, choose the right company.
Very important.
And then number two, it's a long game, not a short game. Just like buying land and leaving it alone.
Exactly.
All right. Now, let's imagine. I don't know if the NNPCL has done this before. Have they ever thrown their shares open to the Nigerian public? Because I know they're always looking for money. Isn't that a way to get the Nigerian public invested in a national asset, and they would be making returns? Because I know NNPCL makes money hand over fist. So can't they open up the refineries to the buying public rather than the 51% share they're looking to maybe give the Chinese companies?
I'm very sorry to say, but I won't advise Nigerians to buy into companies that have been declaring losses for how many years?
So the NNPCL and the refineries are not a good
Why are you
fit.
putting your money there?
I see.
They will not tell you at the end of the year, sorry.
They made nothing.
Unfortunately, a company did that this year. A prominent company did that this year.
Yes.
They said they can't pay dividend. And people were stockpiling, taking the stock because they were expecting dividend payout by, I think, March, April.
Okay.
And the company just came out just towards the time of dividend payment to say, sorry, we can't pay dividend.
So do you think we should focus on international brands instead? I know you said Dangote.
There are local brands.
Banks are also good.
There are local brands.
There are local brands.
There's a lot. There are a lot of companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange
that are doing very well. So that means
companies.
It takes some research.
Yeah. Yes. It's not a get-rich quick scheme.
Okay.
It's something that you have to settle down, research on the company, check their track record. Have they been paying dividends? Have they been making profit? There was a time a very prominent telecommunication, they didn't pay dividend.
Oh, wow. Are they still in business at the moment?
They're still in business.
All right, so they're still here. One of the big three.
Yeah, so there are so many intricacies around it. That's why I say it's a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing.
So how do you then teach yourself? Or do you need somebody to teach you? Because a number of people, let's use Forex, for example. Yeah. You have so many people saying, oh, we'll teach you how to do Forex trading and blah, 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 blah. Do you need same when it comes to buying stocks?
It helps. It helps. There are different platforms online that people recommend, train, continue to give daily insights on where to and where not to be. So, yeah, it helps.
Okay, let's talk about bonds and treasury bills.
Yeah.
Can the average Nigerian, I know the Nigerian government would rather kill itself than, they would, for treasury bills anyway, they would definitely pay because it's a loan. They'll borrow, but you get your money.
Like
so
pyramid scheme.
What do
you call it now?
Yeah, Ponzi. Yes. So what do you advise the Nigerian public, especially for those who have, let's say from 50,000 naira and above, should they be looking into bonds and Nigeria treasury bills and all of that?
Let me tell you something. Nigerians should do it long term as well.
Okay.
But this is where I get worried. So, since this new dispensation, we've been having monetary policy committee meetings where monetary policy rates have just been increasing. Now, let me tell you what's pushing part of the foreign direct investment that is pushing our treasury bills and bonds demand over subscription every other time. It's the fact that if I was in America sitting down now as a citizen of that country who just jackpot or something, I can go to their bank or in any other foreign European or country. I'll go to their bank and based on whatever business I do or whatever I'm doing there, I could apply for a facility. That facility will come in single digit in that country. 4%, 3%, 5%. I bring it to Nigeria. I'm doing 27%.
Okay.
It's so much. It's profitable. That's why foreign portfolio investment is flowing into our system.
Okay.
You can see CBN is saying every other time that our what you call it is doing very well. Foreign reserves are improving. They're doing well. They're okay. There's a lot of foreign capital flowing in.
Okay.
Because they're getting that capital cheaper abroad.
Yeah.
Coming here, making a killing, and they can pay all their dues and still keep a reasonable change for themselves.
Okay.
So Nigerians should, who can, do it on a long-term basis. Every other month you keep something in treasury bills, in money markets, that's is advisable, but it should be understood it's a long-term
It's a long-term thing. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I did tell you that we have 3 headlines. The first headline was Daniel Bala saying, look, on a plenty past the infrastructure. So okay, that's it. That's the explanation from the pseudo-economic expert called... Okay, let me not say that. Let's keep it moving. Then, of course, the second one was Business Day saying... about 8 companies. Of course, they did not pay us for advertising, so we cannot call the names of the companies, but about 8 companies made over 200% returns in 5 months, which is a brilliant thing. So you see, there's money to be made, calculated money to be made, of course. But there is a little issue. Now, according to this headline, this is from KCRA, it says, U.S. oil reserves near 40-year low at 365 million barrels. So oil reserves fell by 9.1 million barrels last week as the Energy Department continued releasing oil to offset supply shortages caused by the war in Iran. So as of May 2022, the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve held 365 million barrels, down from 413 million at the start of the year. So that's a lot. So what is the Strategic Petroleum Reserve? Well, the United States has the world's largest supply of emergency crude oil called the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR. So President Gerald Ford created the SPR in 1975 after the 73-74 Arab oil embargo, which cut off oil flowing into United States. And there are 4 SPR sites located along the Gulf coast of Texas, Louisiana, owned and operated by the U.S. Department of Energy under the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, EPCA, signed in 1975. The policy is to establish a reserve of up to 1 billion barrels of petroleum. As of 2025, the SPR held less than half that goal. That's 413 million barrels of crude oil. Now, the closest the SPR got to reaching 1 million barrels was in 2009, when the reserve reached its highest level of 726 million barrels. However, the reserve supply has dipped dramatically in recent years as U.S. presidents have ordered the release of oil. So apparently what's happening, it happened during Joe Biden's time, and now it's also happening even faster under Donald Trump, and that's because of the Iranian war. So, Dr. Paggi, seeing as the U.S. is having this issue where the emergency crude oil reserves have dipped, how's that going to affect? Because I know geopolitics and the volatility in oil usually affects Nigeria. So what are we looking at?
Most likely, that reduction in the strategic oil reserves of America is going to lead to a form of scarcity. And there's already a high demand from America for crude. So that's that high demand has to be met with pressure on supply.
Okay.
Once there's a pressure on supply, prices shoot up.
Okay.
So I won't be surprised to hear by next week this news would have already started causing upward pressure on the crude oil prices in the global market.
Isn't that good for us, given that, okay, you can buy stocks, bonds, and all of that, things will shoot up, so there's money to be made or dividends to be gotten. Isn't that good for us, for Nigeria?
It's good for Nigeria depending on how much money we make from it, because we have loans that we're paying off.
Okay.
We have, unfortunately, crude for most of the crude for Nigeria.
We front-loaded it by loans, yes.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be good for us. And we also need to start becoming more strategic about this global oil pressure. We have local refineries now that are moribund, and then we have at least some modular refineries and private sector refineries that are working. But if oil prices surge and Nigerian government is thinking of how to sell oil to make windfall profit,
yes,
and they do that at the expense of our local refineries, we continue seeing an increase in our price level, and that makes it harder for us. It would have been easier if they just make sure the refineries have what they have, and then competition will play to allow for a stability in prices.
Okay.
But internally, we have not done well for ourselves, and unfortunately, it's part of the dividend we are reaping by seeing hardship coming out of something that's supposed to give us a blessing. You know, so that challenge. And I know America is very much involved in this war on the Strait of Hormuz. Once the Iranians hear that the strategic oil reserves of America
have dipped,
is dipped, they'll start threatening problems on the strait, so that the
prices will jack up again.
Yes, because everybody wants to make profit. Everybody is in this for. They never saw. We all saw oil prices at $40 per barrel by this time last year. We never saw this. It's this war that just triggered the whole thing.
All right.
So Nigeria, unfortunately, we don't have strategic oil reserves.
Yeah.
Our refineries are not working.
Yeah.
We have, unfortunately, a poor supply chain to the local refineries, because we are interested more in exporting everything that we are bringing out of the ground. We have crude bank loans. The funds coming in from, the windfall profit, we still have so much debt to pay.
So would use the windfall
the oil prices go, that's what will determine how far our local prices will go. But I think 2,000 naira per liter, I think it's only something as extreme as the war that is happening that could cause that, but I doubt we could go that far. You see, the thing is this, and let me put the Daniel Boala
everything
stuff
in
into
context,
this discussion. Every government has an income. In economics, we say income could be used for either consumption or savings.
Okay.
And then some new theories now said we should put investment into that equation.
Okay.
Because investment will allow for further flow of income.
Yes.
That will allow for more savings and more consumption.
True.
Nigeria, we don't do investment. We do consumption, we do savings. I'm saying this because the Dangote refinery, I did a small research this morning on my way here. Did about 15 trillion naira from inception to final operation to set up that refinery. And today, it's the saving grace. Whoever became president would have had this goodwill of the refinery working to allow for inflation and all the things they are saying are happening. It shows that the energy sector in Nigeria should not be ignored because it's very significant in determining how economic development variables are going to be in the country. Then we now have a country that has refineries put together about 2 times of what Dangote has, if you put them all together. Or no, just about what Dangote has. If you put them all together, none of them is working. Between 2016 and 2023, 11 trillion naira was put into revamping the refineries. Which of them are working today? We've got a new GMD of NNPC. He came, he said the refineries will work. You remember how everybody was passing and checking and trying to give their real time story on how the refineries, whether they are working or not. Today, we know those were all gimmicks. Now they say Chinese people are coming on board. We are yet to see. We don't know the details. We just heard headline, take it like that. So if our country is not interested in investment, we just continue these consumption patterns and debts, building up debt profile. All this windfall oil money is not going to give us any dividend at the end of the day. And unfortunately, we've entered political season. We are now more looking at who is going to fly what and what flag anybody is carrying, as against how to really deal with the realities of the economy. I hope the people in power who have ears to listen are listening. But we need to work on how to fix our energy profile, fix our local activities so that we are less dependent on the fluctuations in the geopolitical arena. Because at home we are good.
All right, fine. I hear you. You're focusing on the government, but the average Nigerian might have lost confidence in what the government can do because see what Daniel Bala just said. And we're hearing about the boom in stocks and bonds, and we're hearing that given what's happening in America, the dip in the emergency crude oil, Nigeria might begin to experience, well, if we play our cards right, of course, windfall. How would that play out for the average Jane and average Joe in Nigeria? I'm not too interested in Nigeria because for Daniel Bala to come out and say that, well, a lot of people will be like, So what can the average Jane or Joe do to cash out from this entire infrastructure, as it were? Are there companies they should focus on and buy into said companies? What should they be doing?
Okay, so this is the time to put ear on ground. If you go into the stock market, we have different sectors. There are banking sector companies, there are production, commodity, agriculture, and the rest. Excuse me. Before the end of every year, what one pattern I've noticed is, especially the banking sector, you see them declaring profits.
I think we heard about particular banks last month, I think,
So before the end of every year, they declare profit. I follow that trend personally because it informs me on what banks I could invest in before because once they declare profit, they now declare dividend and when they want to pay. When they say they have dividends that they want to pay, I check how many units can I buy to see how much of these dividends I can get and within what time frame are they going to pay. So I watch all those indices and then I know this is what I'm looking at. Now, as soon as the banking sector pays, we always notice a dip because everybody is selling. They've collected their dividends, some of them are selling, and then they move to some other sector. Around this period, we also see when the banking sector is dipping, we see the agricultural sector becomes open.
Oh, I see.
We see penny stocks open. These are very new companies who are selling their stocks for less than 10 naira, and you see there's a boom in that sector. And then just around September, October, we see. This is from the role within the portfolio I play in.
Okay.
I start seeing the banking sector stocks start going northward again.
Okay.
Up until January, February. So that cycle, everybody who wants to be involved in it as a proper side hustle, since you can keep money aside every other month, study the cycles
and follow it
and follow them as they go.
So that means that what's happening in the US, could it have a positive impact on maybe banking sector and this and that? Because like I said, windfall would hopefully we're going to make money from their problem. So would it bleed into other sectors of the economy for us?
Stocks and companies who trade, who are on the stock market involved in oil and gas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's one company that did very well, especially because of this increase in the price of crude.
Okay.
They did very well this quarter, this first quarter, and even into this second quarter, they've been hitting it nicely.
All right.
So it's possible it could be very beneficial to companies into oil and gas. But like I said, it's not just saying, oh, this is happening in oil and gas. Go into the company and look into it. That's why they are public companies. Their books are available. If you check, you will find them. They're all available for you to see and know what is going on with the company.
Okay.
Don't just put your money there because they are into oil and gas and oil prices are going. They may be in debt. Like a company that didn't pay dividend this year, one of the reasons they didn't pay is because they said they wanted to reduce their debt profile to less than 5% of their total working capital.
Okay.
So the intricacies are important.
All right.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Daniel Bala came out to say infrastructure is not enough and we are too many. And, of course, the stocks and bonds headline that popped up and what's happening in America, which could be a good thing for Nigeria and we as individual Nigerians. But if you have questions for Dr. Lera Kpagi, now would be your best chance to get in on the action. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doc, I greet you.
Greet you too.
I don't know why Daniel Buela is speaking in that direction. The essence of governance is to provide solution to problems. Whether we are more in numbers, less infrastructure, they are making more money. Doc, is it not?
So much money.
If you are making so much money, it seems you have to provide what the citizens see. And that's why you're in governance. Sometimes I will say that most of the people around the president are not seeing things in a progressive way. The essence of being there is to provide solution to
government, and then it also got into from
Buhari.
Buhari's government,
Right.
and it has also continued in Tinubu's government.
All right.
But the other thing he was saying about
100,000.
having 100,000, I know he's trying to say, if we have money, why are we going to? Because we are claiming now we have more money, we are no longer paying subsidies. Why are we still borrowing money?
Okay.
And it's a critical question because it's actually showing the lack of fiscal discipline of our leaders.
All right. Okay. Oh, missed that one by a hair's breadth. Do well to call in 0810-9510-951. That's 0810-9510-951. For text messages, voice notes, and WhatsApp messages, 0701-9339-962. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Lady D, good evening. Good afternoon.
All join. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Okay, I have a question for the doc in the house.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand that this bond, stock, and treasury bill are all supposed to be passive income, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if they are categorized, they are supposed to be called foreign portfolio investment. And this foreign direct investment, I don't know, how does it balance? Are they growing at par, or the foreign portfolio investment is going higher while the foreign direct investment is coming down? Because I understand that the foreign direct investment is what impacts the economic growth of a society.
All right.
So if all of us now tilt towards this foreign portfolio investment, I wonder the future of our country.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for calling.
Yeah, so there's the real sector investment that has to do with a company, for example, ShopRite, coming into Nigeria, buying land, employing workers, doing some production and selling, and giving productive activity into the economy. That's real sector. Portfolio is putting in money, collecting interest at the end of the month. If the company or the country is not doing well, they pull out their money and they go. Now, I agree with you to say real sector investment is what we need in terms of when we get foreign direct investment, as against this portfolio investment where it is not really being seen to affect the real or tangible economy.
Okay.
But investing in the stock market helps the real sector because the money is going into productive companies working in the country. It's even much more effective than for the company than treasury bills, fixed deposit, and the others.
All right. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Honorable Chris Okush.
Welcome to the show.
Doc, I know you're a businessman. I don't really understand the way you see this administration right from Tinubu administration. Do you see these people as people that can maybe provide good dividends of democracy? Do you think that if there are people, maybe employ them as your manager in your company, will you still retain these people since 2014-15 till now? Did they look like people that can manage your company? As a professor, as a doctor, can you retain Tinubu and Buhari as your bank manager or as your company manager? I'm a businessman, so leave these people. They don't have anything to offer.
All right, all right, thank you for that. Let's take the next call. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Doc, the real sector investment you're talking about, how can the real sector investment function? We call them political adults getting power from the federal. Such sector will it function when the state governments are not in a good stability economic situation, disturbing the government without no political will? And the real sector function despite the money in the investing sector. Can it work?
All right.
Please tell us more.
Dr. Paggi.
Okay, so I understand what he's saying, but there are certain issues or challenges that are peculiar to Nigerian businesses now.
Okay.
And there's also a global crisis that is also fluctuating indices of different businesses today. But I believe what Nigeria needs, which is why I will still promote it, is for this country to move out of where it is. We need investment and we need productivity.
Okay.
So that we reduce our dependence on importation, dependence on oil sector, dependency on government to do so much.
Okay.
Like I keep saying, government doesn't have business employing people. Government is just supposed to be in the business of regulation. They shouldn't be into active production. Or if the private sector, if the refineries that are moribund now were run by private sector and the government was just performing oversight functions,
okay,
I think we would have been better off today. The Element Petrochemical that was being run by Nigerians, that is now being run by Indians,
yes,
we can see how well it is doing and adding value to the country. I know there are challenges, but we need to encourage investment in Nigeria.
All right. Okay, let's take some messages before we go back to the phone lines, see how fast we can go. Dawn, greetings to you and your guests. I'm a registered business owner. I can't invest on bonds, shares, etc. because my returns on investment is not certain, okay? My land I bought 2012 for 1,050,000 naira. Dawn, today the land is valued at 45 million with a title document pushing it for C of O, and I'm using it to process loan in Rema. From what you said, 9% revenue for Nigerian banks budgeted for SME